Exciting day today, guys. Delivery day. Today we are on our way to pick up my wife's new daily driver. This is something that we ordered, oh my goodness, months ago. And yeah, very exciting stuff. So we wanted to go ahead and share that with you. They don't allow filming inside the dealership, so I had to be sort of discreet about it. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get into it. So as you can see, we're pulling up to the Mini Cooper dealership. This is the Bill Jacobs dealership in Naperville, Illinois. This will be the third new car that we've purchased there between the Mini Cooper side and the BMW side. Very good dealership. We've had very good luck talking with them. It's always been a good experience, and we highly recommend shopping there. You can see it's a very clean showroom. We're very pleased with the color of this car. This is what they call white silver. It appears white in certain shades of light and silver in other lighting. And this is a plug-in hybrid. It has rated 17 miles of electric range. It's actually closer to 30 miles of range in the summer. In the winter, it's 17 to 20 miles of range. And it's all-wheel drive, electric drive to the rear wheels, gas engine driving the front wheels through a 6-speed transmission. Just a great vehicle. This is something my wife has wanted for some time, something that she could travel state to state in without worrying about the charging network, and yet still get the bulk of her errand running around town done electric. Well, this is it. This is a 2022 Mini Cooper Countryman SE all-4 plug-in electric. It is gas engine powered up front, electric at the rear, modest range. It's rated at 17 miles, but here in the winter I'm finding about, I'd say 22 miles is normal. So in the summer, the reviewers say that you can expect typically about 30 miles of range, which is probably going to be about right, I would guess. So very attractive car. We are happy with it. Let's see, we'll open up inside here. You can see quite attractive interior and relatively spacious back seat. Let me open that for you. Unlock here. So back seat, quite spacious. I had a chance to ride in the back seat for a period of time before, and I really enjoyed it. It is nice and comfortable. So yeah, really good car, and excited to own it. We've got the roof rack. This car came in with all blacked out trim, other than you can see the charge port there, and there's a matching emblem on the other side. That is chrome, but this is the charge port there. And the fuel door is at the right rear corner, same as the gas minis. And so this is a white silver color. Really like this car. I will be going through a full walkthrough video explaining everything about the car, all of the various features and the options, why we ordered what we did, in a later video. So yep, very beautiful car. Well, we got it, and very excited to own this car. Now, this is primarily my wife's daily driver. I will be using it occasionally, but for the most part, it was purchased for her as a replacement for her car. So very excited. We've only put a few miles on this car so far, and still getting used to everything, all the different driving modes and that. I can tell you that the ways that it is similar to our Mini Cooper SE all-electric car that we traded in on this is the feel. Obviously the look is very similar, but the feel, it is still a Mini. It still has a bit of that go-kart feel, but it is softened quite a bit. The ride is much more compliant. The steering response is not as sharp, although admittedly if you put it in sport mode, the steering response does sharpen up quite a bit. And I would say the acceleration, 0 to 60 time, is about the same, although admittedly with this car you have to have the engine running and the electric at the same time in order to achieve that. And I'll explain more on that in upcoming technical dive onto this car. But so far it seems to be really good for what we want. The electric range, now it's the winter, but looks to be about 20 to 22 miles of electric range in the winter. A few reviewers have said that it's 30 or 32 in the summer, which seems about right based on the winter range. So we'll see. Is that range going to be enough for us? Well, my wife, we've kept track of it. My wife drives about 15 miles to do an errand or two, then comes home and drives another 15 miles. So I'm willing to bet that this car is going to see precious little gas burning. But would I prefer more range? Sure. But that wasn't really the design intent of this car, long-range electric portion of driving. And I can get into that more again in the deep dive video. But the reason that we purchased this car is my wife, our life circumstances changed. We used to own a BMW convertible and just all gas car, and my wife would use that car on occasion if she needed to go out of state. She has family that live a little over 400 miles away, and that car would get the nod to take that trip up to Minnesota if my Tesla was unavailable. My Tesla is also my work car, so it's, if I need to stay home and work, she would take the BMW up north. But because the Mini, though it could probably make the trip, it would be, my gosh, 6 or 8 separate charging stops. And I mean, that's just, she wouldn't have done that. So, but when we bought that car, it was mostly for driving around town, and she could use the BMW for out-of-state trips. Well, with the value of used cars going up so tremendously, we sold the BMW back to the dealership we bought it from and got $7,000 under what we paid for it almost 3 years ago. So we got that car for extended period of time, nice high-end BMW convertible, an M240i all-wheel drive, great car. We had that car for close to 3 years and only put $7,000 out of pocket into it. So sold that car back, and then my wife realized, you know, she doesn't drive out of state much, but her mother, her elderly mother, started developing some health issues, and once again, she thought, well, I need to go back up there periodically to tend to her mom. So we thought, well, the dealer also offered us basically what we had invested in our Mini Cooper SE. They offered us in trade. So we got this 2022 Mini Cooper Countryman SE plug-in hybrid. This is the iconic trim, pretty much fully loaded. Almost every checkbox was checked in the options list on this car. But this car will suit my wife wonderfully because she can do the bulk of her errands without using any gas. And with the price of gas as it is right now, that is important. And it's relatively quick even without the engine running. So 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So it accelerates fine, but it's quite quick if you put it into sport and manual mode, and the engine and electric drive run at the same time. So very good car. So anyway, that's the explanation as to why we needed this car. And my wife also used to have a Ford Fusion. Now that was not a hybrid, it was just a gas-only car. She really loved that car, but it was starting to develop some issues. It had close to 100,000 miles on it, and we got rid of that car when we got the BMW. And the BMW was an awesome car, but again, we sold it back to the dealer, and that was going to become an expensive car to maintain and was impractical. It really didn't have much trunk space, and the interior space wasn't that much. So this car really kind of fits all of those things. It has the electric range to run some errands, and if the gas runs, it's only going to run for a short time. And you know, for the most part, I would say 90% of the lifetime miles of this car are going to be put on the electric side. So it has the electric propulsion for my wife's local driving, yet she can drive out of state without any problems at all because it is a hybrid. It is larger than our other Mini. It has plenty of space. We have a couple of Ford C-Max hybrids. This has the same interior space as a Ford C-Max, which is great. The ride quality is good, similar to her Ford Fusion that she liked. It is technically an SUV, so it's got better ride height and cushier ride and all-wheel drive, which can be important here in Northern Illinois. At times we get a lot of snow. This thing has some mild off-roading capability as well, which we will be sure to test out this summer. So this car really suits what the changes in our lives that have occurred and what primarily my wife needs in a vehicle. So we'll go over all of the technical specs of this car in a later video. This thing is a very, very unique vehicle in the manner in which the drive system is laid out, how the hybrid system interacts, both gas and electric sides with one another. My business interests have eased a little bit, and therefore I have more time to shoot more YouTube videos, so you can expect more content in the channel moving forward. Oh, I know one of the questions I'm going to get, what was sticker on this car? With all options, it was $47,000, not a cheap car, and there's a $5,002 federal tax credit, so the effective expense was $42,000. Not a cheap car, and I'll get into why we didn't buy another Tesla and other questions I'm sure you'll have in another video. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, let me know, and as always, stay charged. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye now.